SolidWorks is a mainstream CAD solution where majority of the manufacturing companies or design companies, they use our product. Starting around 2010 timeframe, I would say, we tried to become more platform oriented. The whole ecosystem evolved because during the same exact time period, internet became a reality, cloud became a reality. And with that, the amount of data that was created, it exploded. Once the data exploded, how to manage the data, how to collaborate with the data. In fact, even during COVID times, even collaboration became even more important, right? So in a way, what the journey on which we got started on, it culminated into something without which people cannot live today. Because without platform, you cannot live today. You have to think of employees who are going to be literally at different places, all connected to the same platform in a secure way. That could not have happened if we did not start that journey long time back. Now, added benefit to that is, if you look at companies, most of the companies, they are moving from delivering product to delivering experiences. How do you define experience? So experience is something which, when someone uses your product, it becomes, they should be able to connect with it in a sensible way. Now, it does mean that the product has to work. So functionality has to be there. So design is important part, but product also needs to be robust. If you try it, it fails during the very first uses, experience is not going to be very good, right? Then it has to be done in a way that you manufacture it at the right price. Your customers should be able to emotionally connect with your product. If they're not able to emotionally connect with your product, they'll move on to something else when something better or some other product is out there. And ultimately, everything has to be done in a way that you deliver your products on time, every time. All these aspects come together on the platform because platform provides all these capabilities. We have grown from just being design, which is SolidWorks, to simulation, which is Simulia, to manufacturing, which is Delmia, to marketing, sales and marketing, which is 3DEXPERIENCE, and everything bound by the platform. So it has an Innovia vision. So it has really evolved us in those last 10, 11 years to a point where we are right now. And I think our customers are finally seeing the day of light, where more and more customers are, within 2 days, people who buy, they activate the platform. They start to use the platform because they see the value now. Platform, there were 4 companies which started to think in a platform way, Apple being one of them, and Amazon being one of them, Google being one of them, and Microsoft being one of them. So this was a group of 4 companies which started to change the mind shift of the entire industry by making it to think about the platform. Now, what they did for masses, we did it for I should say, manufacturing industry. Thing which you will hear from us a lot of times is V plus R, that virtual and real. This is where we create things in virtual world, virtual twin, in order to simulate to make sure we can do the right things at the right time. Then it goes in the real world where it starts to get used, which itself produces data. That data that gets produced is feeding back to the next cycle of the product, because how it is getting used, based on that you can refine it, then you refine the product, then it keeps on going round and round. So that's essentially our infinite loop. We call it a free loop. In reality, AI is looking at past what was done and giving you the result in a very efficient way. It will be creative in a way that it will be able to extrapolate things. Will it be able to create something brand new? That has to be seen. I don't think we have reached the generic AI level yet, and it will not be in our lifetime. I don't believe it's going to be in our lifetime. So if I am a bike manufacturing company, want to create a new bike, looking at my existing components, it is able to suggest in a very simple way, this should be the structure, sir. You go and try to refine it. If I do additional refinements there in order to create something unique, of course, that is me, the person who has created that unique object, so I should be able to patent it. In fact, in US at least, if I ask any of these AI engines to produce an image, in US, I think the copyright, you cannot copyright that, because copyright is about some person creating an image. It's not about AI creating. It's not. But the moment you start to take an inspiration and try to make it your own by making your own modifications, it is you who is doing it, then you will be able to create a copyright. So, in my view, what will happen is these manufacturing firms or any design firms, they'll be able to get a lot of different ideas, use the best one in order to evolve it to a point where they'll go in production, and that will be patentable. If you look at today, what is happening is anything that you want to produce, if you want to produce from scratch using raw material, it can be done very easily. Whereas if you try to produce the same thing by using existing stuff, it is very difficult. The only possible way we can possibly add sustainability is by making sure that the objects do not have one single life, rather it has multiple lives, where you do something, at the end of its life cycle, it takes form of something else. And that something else uses least amount of resources in order to produce, to become something else. So our view is that how can we provide to our clients ways with which you can use existing objects in order to construct something new of value. And not just that, ultimately our users are in business, they have to make money. So how do you do it in a way that it is profitable for you, yet you are sustainable?